Thank you everybody for joining us. It is time for a fika. Welcome to this special Sweden Sessions webinar. We're in celebration of Cinnamon Bun Day, which usually takes place on the 4th of October, which is a Sunday this year. We'll explore the Swedish concept of fika. And it's probably my favorite part of the Swedish lifestyle. Definitely this favorite part of the Swedish lifestyle for me. We are going to head to the capital of Sweden this afternoon, and I'm so excited about it. We are heading to Alingsås, which of course is in easy reach of Gothenburg city if you're looking for a gateway. And I recommend that if, like me, you are accustomed to eating many a cinnamon bun, that you walk the beautiful Göteliden trail all the way from Gothenburg to Alingsås, as a way to kind of burn off all of the calories. But of course, if again, like me, you get out of breath after a few kilometers, there is the train that you can take from Gothenburg to Alingsås, and it's very much a sustainable way to see the country and to get out into the beautiful destination. For those of you who don't know me, I'm John. I work in travel trade outreach here at Visit Sweden in the UK. I'm delighted to be joined today by Anna Hartman, General Manager of the Grand Hotel Alingsås, and also Birgitta Eriksson, who is one of the local tour guides of one of Alingsås's famed fika tours, and I can't wait for them to dive into their presentations this afternoon. But before they all do, I just wanted to very quickly, again, show you a few of the things that you can do in Sweden outside of Alingsås, all to do with Sweden, all to do with Swedish fika, and also where to find more information about it as well. We have our OTT module, which you can access, of course, via the Visit Sweden Travel Trade Hub, and that has a food and drinks module, which includes, of course, Alingsås included in it. So much more than we can ever tell you in half an hour. Please do check out the OTT site and head to visitsweden.com, where again you can find so much information about fika, cinnamon buns, Alingsås, where to find the biggest cinnamon buns, where to find fika no matter where you go in Sweden. It's a wonderful tool and a wonderful resource. Fun fact, there are also recipes on visitsweden.com, and one of them is for cinnamon buns. And another fun fact is that the cinnamon bun recipe was one of our most viewed pages during lockdown, especially in the UK. So lots of Brits trying to make cinnamon buns across the country during lockdown. One thing I wanted to quickly show you, and I didn't realize I had my print mark, so apologies for that, is if you head to the event board, which is at the top of the right-hand side of the screen today, is that we've created an easy recipe for you that if you don't want to go onto the website, or if you want to print something super easily, it's there for you just to print and away you go. It's there for you to download, as long as, in addition to all of our presentations from this afternoon too. Of course, fika is a pan-Sweden phenomenon. It's not just something that you can do in Alingsås or in West Sweden, of course, but it's an opportunity to get on the same page as each other, to take 30 to 60 minutes, and just to enjoy each other's company. It's a favorite of dads on parental leave. It can be done outside. It can be done outside in winter. It can be done outside in the summer. And it can be done between friends or colleagues. And when it comes to colleagues especially, a fika is when and where some of the most important decisions can be made, of course. But I don't think we're going to make that many decisions this afternoon, but we will, I think, leave feeling inspired and looking forward to not just visiting Sweden, not just visiting Alingsås, but learning so much more about the Swedish lifestyle in general. Now, of course, today we are very much focusing on the cinnamon bun, but if you do not like cinnamon buns, there are other buns available. And during December and special times of year, of course, there are so many more baked goods and things to enjoy. During Christmas and the Christmas season, we have the lussekatter or Lucia cinnamon buns, Lucia buns, sorry, which are made of saffron. And they are usually eaten around the 13th of December and into Christmas, of course. And during the Easter period or the lead up to Easter, we have semla as well, another favorite of mine. And for those of you who live in London, you don't have to have your semla and your cinnamon buns exclusive of each other. Scandi Kitchen does an amazing cinnamon semla, which is incredible. But you do have to make sure that you promise that you will take the Göteliden trail after that, because the calories are huge. Outside, of course, partaking in a fika or eating cinnamon buns, you can bake cinnamon buns at several places across the country. Very much recommended. I've done a few different workshops and think it's a wonderful thing to do. And of course, we have to head to West Sweden and to Gothenburg and to the capital of Fika, where you can eat some of the biggest cinnamon buns. If you look at the Haga district in Gothenburg, they're literally bigger than a head. And of course, not too far away is where we head to today's presentation, today's location, and the beautiful town of Alingsås. With that in mind, I'm going to hand over now to the experts. I'm going to hand over to Anna and Birgitta. Ladies, please do take it away. And everybody, again, please do chat along with us and let us know what you think.
Perfect. Should you tell them just to put down the volume on?
Yes, sorry, I forgot my housekeeping rule number 101. So at one point, we are going to show a YouTube video. If you can go into your screen, kind of main gray screen that you can see where Alingsås currently is, you'll be able to play with the volume of the video. If you can mute the volume of the video so that Birgitta can speak over it, that would be great and very much appreciated by all of us. But with that, please do tell along, ask questions, and Anna, Birgitta, it's over to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, John. And good afternoon and welcome to Alingsås, the town we in Sweden call the capital of Fika. I am Anna and I'm the co-owner of the Grand Hotel where we are today. And today we also have one of our lovely tourist guides here in Alingsås. We have with us
Birgitta.
Yes, and we are going to tell you all about why you should have Alingsås on your bucket list. And let's together think what we can do to produce a perfect trip for your Brits to visit us in West Sweden. Okay, Alingsås is actually a 400-year-old town. It was founded 2 years before Gothenburg, the main city in the area, and we're quite close. So with the train, you take to and from Gothenburg in under 30 minutes. And maybe you didn't know, we can reach the capital Stockholm in under 3 hours. So direct right here outside the hotel goes the train up to Stockholm in 2.5 hours. And we're quite close to Landvetter Airport as well. So here's some beautiful flowers and our cute town. And it's have been very well-preserved town. We have characteristics, small wooden houses, we have cobblestone streets, and just by walking around, I'll say you find the best culture experience. You will, let me see here, next slide. And hopefully, and I'm sure you will find that the locals are very friendly and they're eager to help your guests around. We love to share with each other, you know, shoe shoppers send them to the hotel and the hotel sends them further on. And it's not only the cafe and the bakeries. We have good antique stores, we have second-hand shopping, personal boutiques, and so on. And the picture in the middle is the Nålhaga Park with the Nålhaga Castle. And here we have exhibitions, both inside and outside. And it was also here in Nålhaga where one of Sweden's biggest entrepreneur, Jonas Ahlströmer, he grew the potatoes and used it for commercial purpose. And I'm sure your Britons are interested in history. He was the one who took your spinning jenny to Sweden to start up the textile industry. And as John said, we have several lakes and trails surrounding Alingsås. Gotaleden is the most famous, of course. Maybe you have heard about it. We have had huge attention and many visitors from all press all over the world. And you could start in Gothenburg and end in Alingsås. It's 71 kilometers long, but it also a hop on, hop off purpose possibility. So you have bus stations and train stations along the way. But you can stay, we have accommodation, there are restaurants and cafes and other historical sites during this trail. Okay, maybe this one is the best slide. No, I'm kidding. This is my baby and not the two guys with me on the roof. That's my two brothers. We have owned this hotel since 1992, and I'll say we take a big pride in a warm welcome. We love to give great hospitality to our guests, good comfort, but not in that snobby kind of Grand Hotel way. We just feel warm and welcoming. And I'll say the cuisine is season-based menus. We have international cuisine mixed with Swedish tradition, I'll say. Yes, and Birgitta, it's about your time to tell our guests why they say that Alingsås is the capital of Fika, and also what will they experience in Fika when visiting Alingsås.
Yes, I think John, he tried to explain about Fika, but I would be the one to show you. Because Fika is a Swedish tradition. It's actually a social institution, a break, where you meet your friends, your family, your associates, your colleagues for a short break. And when BBC was here to make the worldwide report about the Swedish Fika some years ago, they said that Fika contains of three things. It's coffee drinking, it's munching on some sweet treats, and it's chit-chatting. But it is actually a little bit more than that. And if you would visit some of our working places, you would see that it's a valuable and important break during the working day. Because once in the morning and once in the afternoon, you take a 15-minute break. You go away from your working place, from your computer, conveyor belt, office, whatever, and you sit together with your colleagues for a break and a coffee. And chit-chat or talk, if you say that, about private life, but also about working life. And many solutions and understandings have been reached during this coffee break, so they are very important. And after, you go back to your working place and you sit, and I hope energized. And there is a saying that the most important participant in a meeting is the coffee cup. So we will like to show our guests or the Fika tour. It takes 1.5 hours, where we walk around in Alingsås on the cobblestone streets and lined with the very historical wooden houses. And we will see a lot of small bakeries and coffee houses. In the community, we have about 30. And we will visit 4 of them, and we will taste from 5 of them. So we will make a little, so yes, but before, we should have a fika. So we take a fika, and we will, of course, have a freshly baked cinnamon bun, Kanelbullens. And it's made from Norrby, one of our famous coffee houses. And together with it, we will also have fair trade coffee from Honduras, which is processed from A to Z without any fossil energy involvement at all. So, fresh from the coffee break, we take our walk. And we go into Alingsås to some of the historical courtyards where we can smell the atmosphere of horses, trade, busy people, and now they are turned into nice and calm places where you can have a break and a fika. And we will have the specialities that are locally produced, and we will also tell the stories of the different coffee houses. Walking around, we will also talk about, for example, the restaurants. They are having Michelin, but we will have the ABBA, which was established for coffee houses in 2012. And the 3 of the coffee houses we are visiting, they are recognized from the beginning by this white guide, and one was elected as the best coffee house in Sweden 2016. Because Alingsås is a fair trade city since 2008. We have a lot of products that are fair trade, and if you want to have fair trade coffee, you can at least have it in 11 places in Alingsås. Yes, also during the guided tour, we will of course talk about the story of Alingsås, why it became the capital, but also about coffee. From Ethiopia to Turkey, to Europe, to Sweden, and the impact the coffee houses and the coffee drinking had on social life, intellectual and political life, not at least. And also the textile industries implementation here in Alingsås, how it created a new social class, the women working outside home, and the need of having these coffee houses to provide breakfasts and breaks for their husbands, and how these coffee houses more or less turned into cooperative social institutions. There's a lot of history to talk about. And we will, of course, also reveal some secrets. The etiquettes and the rules behind the coffee parties with the 7 cakes. Or why are so many of the old coffee houses, and nowadays as well, why do they have female names? And where does Fika come from? That we will tell you during the Fika vandring. And at the end of our tour, we go back to Grand Hotel. And now we hope that our guests, they will feel the real essence of a Swedish typical fika, because we are going to sit down, have some nice coffee or tea, and then we will have the famous princess cake as our sweet treat. And this princess cake was born more or less in 1948, and 3 Swedish princesses, they liked them so much that they became the princess cake. And 2 of them became famous queens. Queen Märtha of Norway and Queen Astrid of Belgium. And then we hope that our guests will really sit there, talk to each other, talk about the tour, be acquainted with each other, and really feel that they are having a special Swedish fika in the capital of Fika, Alingsås.
Very good, Birgitta. And you know now you have a lot of knowledge to bring through from our perfect tourist guide. Okay, and we hope by now you are very interested in visiting us, of course. And in cooperation with the Tourist Board of the West Sweden, we can help you arrange trips for a few days or up to, I think we have a group now for a whole week. And then we include Gothenburg and maybe 1-day trip up to the West Coast or whatever you feel like your travelers are interested in. Okay.
And I would say that Alingsås has much more to offer than Fika.
Yes, of course. You can see some of the other sites in the movie. We have a steamboat Herbert going out on Mjörn.
Yes.
That's a perfect group experience. And we also have a steam train in Antengräsnäs with a mid-century old castle ruin to visit. So yeah, but we only had a couple of minutes this time, and we are here to celebrate the Kanelbullens, as we say. It's not a cinnamon bun here, it's a kanelbulle. But what is it? Do you have any questions for us, or yeah?
Yes,
hello, John. Welcome back.
I'm back. I'm starving. You both did such a great job of really inspiring me to visit and to talk more about Alingsås when I'm out and about on the road and talking to travel agents and to tour operators. I can see a few people are typing at the moment, but whilst they are typing, when it comes to the tours, is it possible to do a private tour with you, Birgitta, even for kind of 2 people or a couple or a small family? Or is it possible to kind of say every Saturday at 11 a.m. you have to book onto this kind of pre-scheduled group tour, or is it a mix?
At the time being, we have it every Saturday, and we will also have it for Christmas. Special one, yes. But of course, we are always open for having special tours, absolutely.
Maybe a family of 4 could be a little bit expensive,
Yeah.
but it's not very expensive. And I think I had this kind of pamphlet that we can send out to the but I actually have some prices just on the Fika guide tour.
Great. And of course, as ever, we will send an email round as soon as later this afternoon with Anna and Birgitta's details. And of course, that's where they can follow up and send you all of the information that they have to hand on the tours, on the hotel,
Yes.
with Alingsås, of course.
And I would be happy to reveal the secrets.
Dare I ask? I would love to. I would love to ask what secrets.
You have to come here to Alingsås first.
Okay.
Here comes the salesperson. We just released them in Alingsås.
And I know you said that you have a number of different itineraries available. Do you kind of act as a mini DMC or receptive tour operator for Alingsås, Anna? Can the travel agents contact you and you can kind of book out 2, 3, 4 days of them of activities for them if they stay at the hotel?
Yes, that's possible. And what we like to do is that we like to communicate what is the market group and who's coming and what are they interested in. And as I told you about the Swedish heritage in the industrial culture, I mean, should we bring it that way or so? Yeah, we're pretty open-minded to customize whatever you say. Yeah. How to work the program out.
That sounds great. And I know a lot of the agents on the call, especially Dana, who is typing again, and a few of our other colleagues are very keen on that kind of personal relationship and would rather work with you to make sure that their guests have an excellent time rather than kind of just booking.
Yeah. And I was curious about, because we have very good what's it called, the flower architect in the city gardener. Yeah. So we have very interesting gardening, I think, in the area, and we have a lot of castles and botanical gardens in the area. My mind is saying that British people should be interested in that, or are they only interested in their own gardening, or?
No, I think for Brits and for American tourists as well, we have a mix of people on the call. I think that the idea of cooking, walking, and gardens and heritage is such a wonderful package. And if we can create a sample itinerary for that, I think tour operators would really, really enjoy that. Yeah. It's just, I think it's for us Brits, it's very much about what we will work with, what we know about. So the more that we work together and we spread the word, we can get those mixed.
Okay, now I see that we have a question about you. Yes, and we're not wearing masks in Sweden. Some of the hotels do that because they have a lot of international guests, but we do the social distancing and a lot of the health measurements.
The other thing that we can send to you, Dana, I don't have the link to hand, is that there is a Swedish government department that splits out the number of cases per region as well. And it's very kind of localized, so you can kind of see how small the number is, especially in a region that's quite sparsely populated, like West Sweden. That's no problem. And it gives you the 7-day average, the 14-day average, and all sorts of different statistics. So I'll pop that into the follow-up for you as well.
I have to tell you that one of the most famous persons in Alingsås, he came from Scotland.
Oh, that is Hill.
His name was Charles Hill, and he created the textile industry in the second wave here in Alingsås. He came from Bolton. Yes. Sure. Could be interesting for British people, maybe.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful link. I think the whole region, with it being such a huge port, we have so many British and Scottish links, as you say, especially. Yeah. Again, you can almost do a home away from home itinerary of Scottish and British history in Sweden, and mix that with the Swedish history, of course. So I'm going to give you guys a few moments to think about some more questions, and we're going to pass very quickly over to the East Coast and over to Stockholm for a moment. And of course, for the last few weeks, you've had Anna and you've had Johanna from Visit Stockholm leading Sweden Sessions webinars. And the ladies have prepared something for us this afternoon that is a little bit more cinnamon bun related. So I'm going to pass very quickly over to them. It's about a 3 or 4 minute video that just shows you what Fika and Cinnamon Bun Day is like in Stockholm. And then we are going to come back to Alingsås and we are going to do a couple more questions. So have a think about some more questions and we will be right back with you.
Thank you.
Stockholm. Just wanted to say hi and wish you all a happy Cinnamon Bun Day. Yay! We're going for a Fika to go. So please join us. So it was such a beautiful weather today, so we decided to have our Fika to go with our cinnamon bun buns.
In Sweden we eat a lot of these. We even gave the cinnamon buns their own annual day. On the 4th of October we will eat, basically everyone in Sweden will go and buy a cinnamon bun. And I heard that in total we eat about 7 million cinnamon buns across the country.
On this specific day only.
Okay, so on this specific day only. I thought it was yearly. All right, okay, that's a lot.
Yes, but the holiday hasn't been around for that long. It was invented in 1999 by the Home Baking Council with the purpose to increase the attention on Swedish baking traditions and with a special focus on the cinnamon bun buns. So, but the buns itself has been around and a beloved pastry among us Swedes since the early 20s. But back then the ingredients such as sugar and butter, cinnamon was quite expensive, so not everyone could afford it. But then in the 50s, when economy recovered, baking cinnamon buns became more or less a part of the everyday life for us Swedes. So that's how the cinnamon bun went from being a luxury fika to a favorite fika.
Yeah, and regardless if you're a Stockholmer based here in Stockholm or if you're a visitor coming to visit us, you can find these practically everywhere. In cafes, in supermarkets, even in restaurants, and you can just pick any cafe really. There are a lot across Stockholm. Or you can do what we did. You bring a cinnamon bun and some coffee and you go to a nearby park and just enjoy a fika out in the sun.
And also if you want to learn how to bake them on your own, there's classes to learn and do that as well, of course. But I think it's enough talking now and I think we should dig in.
Yes, I already started. It's too good.
Well, enjoy!
Bye!
Hi, my name is Tobias and I'm on parental leave with my son Bobby. I really like to fika and one of my favorite spots is Vetekatten. Kom här! Now we're at Vetekattens courtyard and we're gonna celebrate the Cinnamon Bun Day. This is just one of many places here in Stockholm that you can buy excellent, good vegan buns. So cheers!
Hello, happy Cinnamon Bun Day to you. Greetings to you from Stockholm, from the Stockholm archipelago, from the roastery here you can see. This is where we have been roasting your coffee. We hope that it makes a fantastic combo with a delicious cinnamon bun and that you enjoy this very special day of the year. My name is Jack. I am your coffee roaster. Thank you very much.
Hi, Linda from Vaxon Bed and Breakfast here. I hope you're all enjoying this very special day with a lot of cinnamon buns. Happy Swedish Cinnamon Bun Day to you, everyone.
Now, this part of the video doesn't have sound, and it's at this point that I wish I had the voice of the Marks and Spencer's advert, so I could say that these aren't just any cinnamon buns, these are Linda's cinnamon buns. But I do not have that voice, so I will shut up. But I would say that a trip to Vaxholm's Bed and Breakfast is a excellent way to learn about how to make cinnamon buns. And Linda was Swedish Home Baker of the Year 2017 and has since then been working on these workshops, and they are some great cinnamon buns, I have to say. But with that, we have come to the end of our get together and our time together. I know it's time for many of you to go and put the kettle on again. But again, thank you to Anna, to Birgitta, thank you to you for joining us. If there are any more questions, please do fire them away, and we would love to help, love to share any insights that you may need and have. But I have one question for you, Anna and Birgitta. You showed us so much about fika, not just about Kanelbullens, but also Prinsesstårta. What's your favorite?
Okay, Birgitta, you go first.
I have to admit, princess cake.
Ah, you like the princess cake?
Yes, I do. And my grandchildren they are living in Switzerland, they call it gâteau suédois.
And for me, I'd say the cinnamon bun is the best for me. Yeah, it fills my stomach a little bit better.
Depends on how big share you take.
Yeah, yeah.
The classic and the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, anybody and everybody, if you do choose to make a cinnamon bun, I can see some comments in there about baking. Take photos, please tag us all, share it with us. What's princess cake? We could do a whole Sweden session just on princess cake. But I will flick up the Alingsås presentation again, and I will say, Birgitta, it's over to you.
Yes, it is a sponge cake, which is filled with vanilla cream and whipped cream. And then you have a layer of green marzipan. And of course, it has to be the traditional pink rose as well.
Yeah, the pink rose in marzipan on the top.
Yes.
And on every, birthday feast you have, everyone, okay, who's going to get the...
Who's getting the rose.
The rose.
And when the princess Estrella, Victoria's daughter, when she was born, that day you couldn't find one princess cake in the shops. It was fully sold out.
Yeah, so that's quite in common with the British. We are a little royal still, even here in Sweden.
Yes, I guess it's our own, but it's a very similar kind of concept to afternoon tea.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
But I promise it's delicious.
Yeah.
Full of calories.
Well, what do you say, Birgitta? Should we dig in these?
Oh yeah, I would like to have a cinnamon bun. Thank you very much.
So again, thank you, Anna, thank you, Birgitta, for joining us. Really appreciate all of your time, and thank you for all of your amazing insights and for sharing Alingsås with us. I thought it.
Welcome to Alingsås.
Thank you, and welcome to Alingsås. Bye bye.